Stay tuned, everybody, because it's time for the Playin on Music Row podcast with your host, Fran. Heard each week on this station. And now, here's Fran.
Get ready to dive deep into the world of music business with the expert himself. Keith Bradford, a renowned musician and radio host, brings you Playing the Music Business, a comprehensive series that reveals the secrets and insights of the industry, from distribution to budgeting, copyright to personal management, and so much more. Join us on this extraordinary journey where music lovers like you discover the true essence of the music business. Contact Keith via email at keith@nbrnonline.com or call 615-445-9073 or 615-612-3899 for more information. Embrace your passion for music today.
Great. Hey, we're playing on Music Row today with Gabe Schillman. How you doing, Gabe? Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today.
I'm doing very, very well, and I'm very grateful and honored to be here.
Well, we're quite welcome. Hey, we opened up with this Run No More, and it was a collaboration. Can you tell us a little bit about that, maybe about the collaboration, etc.?
Yeah, absolutely. That song was co-written with my very, very good friend and producer, Ted Perlman, down in Nashville at his studio. And Ted is just an absolutely, brilliant artist all around and brilliant producer. He's worked with some of the biggest names in the industry and has Grammys to back it up. And we wrote that one kind of on the fly. It was an amazingly quick process. I had a gentleman that was traveling with me and touring with me, and he was just kind of going through some things. So that song was like a conversation with him, and Ted took that song and just did such an amazing job with the production. So that collaboration came about very, very quickly, but very proud of how it turned out.
All right, cool. Well, let me ask you a question. When did you actually begin writing and performing original songs?
That is a good question. I was about 15 when I got my first guitar, and I believe that the night that I got my guitar, I didn't know how to play a single chord or a single note. But I learned two chords relatively quickly, and I just started writing. I had never had that kind of outlet, to express myself creatively, and when the floodgates opened up, I couldn't stop. So I've been writing ever since.
All right, cool. When and who are some of the writers and artists that have influenced you?
Another fantastic question. When it comes to my songwriting, I'm very much a stickler about writing what you know and being honest about your content. And the artists that do that are the ones that I gravitate towards too, with the exception of like Tom Waits. Tom Waits is somebody that I admire very, very much, and as an artist, he can write fiction a little bit easier than I can, but I still feel like it's very, very honest and very original. Some modern artists that inspire me would, like Zach Bryan. I definitely appreciate what Zach Bryan has done to the music industry in such a short amount of time. Tyler Childers. Some of my favorite independent songwriters there's a guy by the name of John Cox, who was a very popular artist in the Christian music scene for many years, especially back in the 90s. And I think he's a brilliant, brilliant writer, and he was my first influence. And then there's a guy by the name of Joe Shields out in Montana, and he is famous for his cartoon series called Joe Cartoon, but as a songwriter, I think he's one of the most brilliant minds to ever exist. So those would be, kind of my touch and go tops.
Okay. Well, you released Summertime in Michigan. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because we're going to actually spin that. Can you give us some background on it?
Yeah, I can. Summertime in Michigan. I'm from Michigan, and it seems to be everybody's favorite season up here. There's just so much going on. I wrote that song many years ago, and had the good fortune of recording it with a producer from Michigan as part of a collaborative project with an organization called the Sheba Sequoia Forest, which was trying to put together a compilation of songs celebrated Michigan. So we had to do that recording, and we did that song live in Mark Lavengood's studio. Mark Lavengood is a very well-known producer in these parts. He's worked with like Billy Strings and a handful of really, really fantastic artists. And Mark played a lot of the not a lot of the instruments on it, but he played a few of the instruments on it, some of the overlaying ones. And that song came together. About 95% of it was done live, and then went back with some touching tracks.
Okay. Well, we're going to actually spin Summertime in Michigan by Gabe Schillman.
Sounds good.
It's a small town in the Rust Belt, and the girls all watch the boys melt in the sun. We got a packed car, she's on my lap, and she winked back. Did you see that? I'm in love. Summer love, give you some, leave your troubles where they're from, and just have fun. You and me and the breeze. A summertime 3 for 3 cold beer, but it's cheap. No matter, it'll work for me. Songs for Kid Rock, for fishing from Lake Dock, bonfires with my friend. Where the road ends, that's where life can begin. It's summertime in Michigan. It's summertime in Michigan. It's a hot one, grab a cold one. We got the grill going, go and get some for free. We got a group float, we got no boat, we got tube zone, so we can all go. Sweet. Summer love, get some, leave your troubles where they're from and just have fun. You and me and the breeze. A summertime 3 for 3 cold beer, but it's cheap. No matter, it'll work for me. Songs I can't rock. We're fishing from Lake Dock to bonfires with my friends. Where the road ends, that's where life can begin. Where the road ends, that's where life can begin. It's summertime in Michigan. It's summertime in Michigan. Yeah, yeah. Summer love, get you some, leave your troubles where they're from and just have fun. You and me and the breeze. A summertime 3 for 3 cold beer, but it's cheap. No matter, it'll work for me. Songs for kids rock, picture from Lake Dock to bonfires with my friends. Where the road ends, that's where life can begin. Where the road ends, that's where life can begin. It's summertime in Michigan. It's summertime in Michigan. Yeah, yeah. Troubles where they're from and just it's summertime in Michigan. Yeah, yeah. Some needing troubles where they're from and just it's summertime in Michigan. Yeah, yeah. Some needing troubles where they're from and just it's summertime in Michigan.
Actually put together a video for you? Who does your videos?
That would be me. Yeah, yeah. I wear many hats, I guess, but that was something that was needed for the project, and I always like to put together lyric videos. It's an extremely time-consuming process, but I always happy with when it's done.
A lot of people prefer that. How would you describe your sound?
I'm, as a songwriter, it's I don't necessarily box myself into genres, but as a performing artist, I always say I'm on the rock side of country.
Okay, so you're rock country instead of country rock. Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Well, you have a song titled "We Will Never Give Up," and we're going to spin that. Can you give a little background on that song?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another one that was written with my good friend and producer Ted Perlman. And last year we did a tour, a national tour that kicked off in Norfolk, Virginia, called the United States of Mind Tour. And we wanted to honor our military servicemen and women. And the entire tour was dedicated to raising funds for different veterans organizations and, military causes. So we worked with WeCareMarines.com. We worked with an organization called tugs.org, which is talking, understanding, growing, and supporting. And they work with a lot of military servicemen that are recovering with PTSD. And then we also were able to fully fund a war memorial in Ridgeway, Wisconsin, that the city had been trying to erect for many years. So the tour was heavily dedicated to just paying tribute to and honoring our servicemen and women. And the tour was a tremendous success. And then we needed a song, that kind of represented, the voicing of today. And we thought, what better phrase could we scream out than "We will never give up"? And, we're a very resilient nation. We're very, very strong. And it's not always easy, but we will never give up. And that was the very first line of the song was that right there. And then we wrote the song around it. And I believe that it doesn't just translate well towards military, but it also, is a very, very versatile song. Could be used for sports teams, just as a personal anthem. And I'm very, very proud of this song and what it's done. It's been a very impactful song.
Oh, great. Let's take a listen here to "We Will Never Give Up" by Gabe Schillman.
Give up, we might get kicked in the mud. We'll pick those boys up by the scruff and have a little talk about stuff, but we will never give up. Yeah, we will never give up. And we will never get tired, never lose that light or that fire. And when the enemy rises up, we're just gonna rise up higher. Yeah, we will never get tired. Yeah, we will never give up. Try me and see. A good man standing up for God, their homes and their families. You're gonna push us too far and find out who we are. We're gonna fight for all that we love. Yeah, all my boys are God blessed tough, and we will never give up. And we will never bow down, never surrender this crown. You think we're messing around? Yeah, we're about to find out, 'cause we will never bow down. Try me and see. A good man standing up for God, their homes and their families. You're gonna push us too far and find out who we are. We're gonna fight for all that we love. Yeah, all my boys are God blessed up, and we will never give up. Yeah, we will never give up. Give up. Yeah, we will never give up. Yeah, we will never give up. Yeah, we will never give up.
Gabe Schillman produced video.
Another, yep.
Yeah. Hey, how is your career being promoted?
So I work with KJG Media and Promotions, which is Mr. Caden Gordon, and he's an award-winning artist promoter. I think he was the #1 artist promoter in the country last year, according to the International Singer-Songwriter Association. And KJG Media and Promotions has been doing just an incredible job. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, you mentioned a little bit about touring. Do you plan on doing any touring? Probably this summer or anything else?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty much on constant tour as it is. I've got about 15 states that I service regularly, with venues in each of those states that I've been on a constant loop since about 2019 with a brief interruption, obviously, during 2020. But I live on the road. I've got a home base in Michigan, but I'm very rarely there. I think I played over 230 shows last year, and I'll probably do a little bit less than that this year, but right around there. And then once a year we try to put together, a larger tour with my full band. And this year what we're working on is called the Rustic Revival Road Show, which is a tour that is going to be celebrating and focusing on rural America, so small town throughout the country. And we're going to try to bring a big show to rural towns, little 1,000-seat theaters. And while we're there, we're going to not just come in and play a show and leave, but we're going to actually find out what the community needs, what they're trying to raise money for, find a cause that we can get behind. And while we're there, we're going to try to raise funds, for each small town community, whatever it is that is important to them. And we're going to do that through a number of different ways, but the tour will be very special and focused on rural America. The Rustic Revival Road Show, which will be announced very soon. We're in the process right now of securing our main sponsors and trying to work out a thing with Live Nation. So if we can get those pieces to fall into place, we're looking at launch in early September. And it'll run through the end of the year.
All right, cool. Well, being that you're talking about touring, you do so much touring. What's your website, social media that people can actually keep on top of what you're doing?
So my website, which I try to update that as much as possible, and that is www.kinggabe.com, and there's songs you can listen to on there, and then my schedule gets updated about once a month. I'll put on each month's schedule, and then I'm most active on Facebook, which would be at artist Gabe Schillman, and there is pretty up to date, announcements of where I'm playing and when. And then there's also a fan page that is ran by a fan, a very devout fan. That is King Gabe's Village on Facebook, and that page actually does such a good job of keeping track of where I'm at, where I'm going to be, but also post a lot of live videos from my shows and some different content that you might not see elsewhere. So at King Gabe's Village, at artist Gabe Schillman on Facebook, and then kinggabe.com for my website.
Okay. Well, I've asked you a lot of questions. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd like to share with the listening audience?
I as a songwriter, as a touring artist, it's an interesting life. It's not very conventional, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do what I do. And it's extremely rewarding to to see, somebody connect with your songs. And as a songwriter, that's the greatest compliment somebody could ever pay them. So more than anything, I'm just very, very grateful for the people who have supported me and kept me going all of these years. I've been touring now for over 20 years, and it's taken a village to keep me going. And the people that have done it, they know who they are and who they continue to be. I'm very grateful for the people that I write songs with, like Matt Strong, Darren Arand, obviously Ted Perlman, my producer. What an amazing man. So there's just so many parts and pieces to this, and so many people that have kept me going. But as a listener out there, if you're supporting, local music, live music, you're going out to the shows, that means the world to guys like me. So thank you very, very much. And especially to you for having me on. I appreciate you very, very much.
Well, you're quite welcome. Well, I tell you, Gabe, the Nashville Broadcasting Network wants to thank you for taking the time today. But we're going to close out with a song called I Dodged a Bullet. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And we'll spin it at the end.
I've had my share of lady troubles, and they always make for great songwriting. So that song was written in the truest way that a song can be written, and I wrote that one personally, and then of course Ted Perlman produced it, and it'll be part of the album that's coming out later this year. Run No More, and I Dodged a Bullet is just a kind of a fun, tongue-in-cheek song about, maybe you're sad about a breakup, but after a little bit, you look back on it and you're like, man, I really dodged a bullet there. That's like, I'm glad that didn't work out. So, and that song is very true. So,
well, it's been said that every breakup is good for 5 hits. There you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Well, let's take a listen to Gabe Schillman and I Dodged a Bullet.
I was gonna treat you right, lift you up to such great heights. I was gonna love you, hold you, kiss and hug you, and I was gonna make you nice. No way. Such great heights. I was gonna love you, hold you, kiss and hug you. I was gonna make your night. I was gonna buy you things, diamond necklace, pearly rings. I was gonna treat you better, little speeds too. You were gonna be my queen. You were gonna be my queen. She ran off like a scared little creep into the night. Little heartbreaker, love breaker, didn't even say goodbye. Say goodbye. I tried to cry, but the tears never came to my eyes. This time roulette, half cocked and loaded. She pulled the trigger and I dodged the bullet. And I dodged the bullet. And I dodged the bullet. Tell me how's your life right now? Since you took all your things and walked out. I'm sure you got a new friend. Tell me how's it feel when you get that stomach sinking feeling down. I was gonna treat you right, lift you up to such great heights. I'm a better lover, you trade me for someone other. Honestly, you're not too bright. Honestly, you're not too bright. You ran off like a scared little thief into the night. Little heartbreaker, love breaker, didn't even say goodbye. Say goodbye. I tried to cry, but the tears never came to my eyes. This time roulette, half cocked and loaded. She pulled the trigger and I dodged the bullet. And I dodged the bullet. And I dodged the bullet. tell me how's it feel when you get that stomach sinking feeling down. You get that stomach sinking feeling down, yeah. Oh, tonight I'm gonna treat you right. Lift you up to such big height. I'm a better lover, you take me for someone other. Honestly, you're not too bright. You ran off like a scared little thief into the night. Little thief into the night. Little heartbreaker, love breaker, didn't even say goodbye. Didn't say goodbye. I tried to cry, but the tears never came to my eyes. This time roulette, half cocked and loaded. She pulled the trigger and I dodged the bullet. This time roulette, half cocked.